What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Saber Reels. This is our Book of Boba Fett discussion. We are here to talk about Chapter 4 of the Book of Boba Fett, and that is titled The Gathering Storm and was directed by Kevin Tanchorin. I totally butchered that last name, but Kevin Tanchorin, he directed some Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. episodes as well as a Mortal Kombat movie back in the day. I thought I did a great job with this episode, but I'm sure we're going to talk about that here in a minute. But before we do that, let's introduce our friends, Matt and Colin. How you guys doing, buddies?
I'm tired.
Matt, are you in a better mood today than you were last week?
I forget why I was in a bad mood last week.
The answer is yes.
Yeah, I forget why I was in a bad mood last week.
The answer is yes, because the NBA is flexing Cavs games to prime time.
Yeah, they should have flexed tonight's, though.
Oh, shut up.
It's the Bulls Cavs.
Not fast enough. They can't do it fast enough. Those people already had hotels booked. Chill. Welcome to Star Wars, folks. As we get into the wars in the stars. More specifically, books about a man named Boba Fett. Hi, I'm Colin. That's Toby and Matt. Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it. So I want to start here, right? Actually, before we get into the discussion, Colin, are you ready to do your 1 minute?
Okay,
breakdown?
and like shame on Wikipedia because like I was going off like the chapters of what had happened in the episodes, and the only thing is Fennec Shan rescue. So I'm gonna do my best, y'all. All right, like cut me like 15 seconds because this is gonna be rough, and I gotta get all this right in my head. All right.
Clock starting in 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, so we start the episode. They go back in time, and we're back in time. He eventually is just walking around. Boba Fett's walking around on the Banta and finds Fennec Shan, and it's like, yo, hey, what's up? Yo, you're hurt. Let's take you, get modded up. She gets a new stomach. Gets the new stomach. Is like, what are you doing out here? I'm going to build a new cartel. It's going to be sick. We're going to do it together. It's going to be all about loyalty. It's going to be cool. And then they go get the ship from Jabba's palace. She sends a cool little droid. They get a map. They break in.
30 seconds.
Weird droids. And then all of a sudden, he's got the ship. After a huge battle, he has the ship. They go. He kills all the bikers. He then goes and kills the Sarlacc after some crazy bullshit where he busts out like the episode 2 subsonic. And then
10 seconds.
Back. We're good. And all of a sudden, he's meeting with all these people, trying to figure out, hey, are you guys going to work with me? I don't want your money. I don't want your money. Let's just not kill each other. And then he gets apparently plays a trick on Black Chrysanthemum and like gets the whole bar to like try to like get him to be a good guy, and it doesn't work. And he rips off the arm of a poor Trandoshan just sitting there winning lots of credits apparently. And then he's like, cool, you want a job? Comes in. That happens. And then they have the meeting. And then they're like, yo, you guys want to hear some Mandalorian music? End of episode.
Okay, that was not bad. You were
I got
30 seconds over.
The chrysanthemum stuff, and then the dinner, and then we're good.
No, that was pretty good. And so with that, I want to start here real quick. We were just talking before we went live how it's pretty well implied that the flashbacks are done. He's healed. Like they even say, like you're fully healed. So no more back to tank, no more back to dreams. So no more flashbacks. And I'm not mad at that. Like we got 3 episodes left. Let's really get into the nitty gritty of the present day stuff. But I wanted to see how Boba Fett found out that Cobb Vanth had his armor and why he didn't go try and track it down himself. It's a little nitpick. I think it's safe to assume that he just asked somebody. And then while he's on his way there, he sees that Mando has it.
Can I give you a better argument, Toby? I hear your point, and I raise you a better argument for your point. You just hired a good lawyer. Hi, my name's Colin. You know what? I guess dude was out there for years, all right? I guess dude was literally out there for years because he says it in this episode, well, I was trapped in the Sarlacc pit all those years ago. And you're like, so cool, all those years ago. Thank you for covering a massive time span. So you were just chilling with the Sand people for an undisclosed amount of years, and then also could have been just bantaing around the desert for another year. Who knows? All we know is now we have like 15 minutes of undiscovered country that y'all could have not dealt with, like taken out a year maybe, and we could have had like 15 minutes of him covering what Toby's talking about. But instead, we were like, no, we're gonna cover some other stuff, and then kill those people tragically in 5 minutes. Yeah, it could have. If we're looking at how we used our minutes, we didn't appropriate them correctly. Like they could have been used in other places. They could have been distributed differently throughout the timeline.
Yeah, we've talked before about how Star Wars is it likes to do this thing where it's very unclear how much time passes. Like we have no idea how long Luke was on a Dagobah before. Like we have no idea how long Han and Chewie and Leia were trapped in the asteroid worm thingy. Like we have no idea like how long that is. And you can name other examples too
Long
throughout
enough,
Star
if
Wars.
you ask Leia.
So like how long Boba Fett was a member of the Tusken tribe, we have no idea. We have no idea how long between the Tusken tribe being viciously murdered and him meeting Finnick. Like very unclear. But again, I would have liked for him to have figured out that Cobb Vanth had his armor, and maybe we see Timothy Oliphant pop up again.
Yes.
I would have liked to seen that, but again, a little nitpick. The flashbacks seem to be over. Let's keep it moving and get into the real war.
Can I just point something out though, Toby? Can I now give the defense?
Yes.
Okay. The defense is we know what the end of that episode is. Like, I don't know how they would have just pieced together him not finding the armor. Like, is that enough of a flashback that would have truly warranted being the last flashback?
Mm-hmm.
And it's him not finding his armor. It's just a piece of information because we do already know how he gets
That's fair.
Right.
That's totally fair.
But the whole I'd like to see him pull up all gangster like on Oliphant and be like, just have a dick waving contest. like where's you? I heard you have my armor. I got the bigger dick. Where's my armor? No, it's just.
Well, it definitely also could have like ended. Like another thing that's so it's like 5 minutes. It's like 5 fucking minutes because he's with Finnick.
Yep.
And then it's the end of the flashback. But then the next time we see him, chronologically, he's watching Mando ride away with his armor on the speeder. So
Right.
Yeah, Toby, how does he eventually get to that spot? I guess would have. I don't know, but it's like 5 more minutes.
I think if he has
completely forgot about Mando. He saw Mando ride off with his armor. That I forgot about.
Yeah.
Good catch.
See, what I thought would have been cool is if after he's leaving the mods, once the mods finish putting Finnick back together, he's like, hey, by the way, have you seen any Mandalorian armor around? And then they would have been like, yeah, this homie sheriff has it, a town that way. He's like, all right, cool. And then that way you assume after he gets his shit back, he's on his way to go get it. And then Mando beats him to it. And then we're done. Like that would have been really easy. That way we know that he knows where it was. Like that's just something I would have liked to have seen. But again, it's a nitpick.
Can I get it? Yeah, what if we get in a comic book?
I mean,
it's a perfect issue
Star
of
Wars,
a comic
man.
book. Like
the comic books love to fill in all those little,
just like those little 5 minutes. We're bitching about 5 minutes, and it's like a perfect, 20-page comic. It's Boba, like just poshing around. He ends up running into the mechanic lady. And all that shit, and then it's like, oh, have you seen any? And he ends up meeting all the characters from the Mandalorian. Guys, I'm writing it for you. We really got to quit giving Disney these ideas. Like, it's free at this point.
Yeah, 2 nights in a row.
2 nights in a row. We're just giving them too many ideas.
But speaking of the mods, how
Colin
did you guys
for hire? By the way,
yes, we're all looking for jobs at the moment. How did you guys feel about the mods putting Finnick back together? I thought that was a perfect little tie-in to what we saw last week.
Yeah,
right?
just that music choice was fucking odd though.
That is Swedish EDM. Like that is not music that your ears are normally tuned to hearing, but there is a big segment of the world that is tuned to that kind of stuff, and I thought it fit perfectly for the scenario of outerworldly because it's exactly what you just. That reaction is exactly what you would think of space music. Like it's not what you have heard before. And also shout out to Max, killing it again. And he got a name shout out this episode.
Shout out to Thundercat. Thundercat was
This is
the
about to say Thundercat.
was the the mod
modder.
that put Finnick back together. No, I actually really I
Wait,
dug the
who's
music.
that? Thundercat?
Thundercat, yeah.
Who's
You
that?
never heard of Thundercat?
Ho?
The bassist.
Oh, I was like a Thundercat. I was going back to like Thundercats. Oh, I was like, what
No.
the fuck?
No. No, I like the cyberpunk, things that we're seeing in this show. I don't know if it's Robert Rodriguez or maybe it's Jon Favreau for all we know, but someone on the producer board really loves cyberpunk, and they're just like, we are putting it in the show. And I like that inclusion because it's definitely like very out of bounds in terms of what we see in Star Wars, but I like it. I think it's different. I think it's
I also
silly.
like it is kind of like the rebellious teens gravitational point. Like
Oh,
it's
yeah.
not- like that is a very unique choice, but also they're kind of, if you want to look at it, those shiny things are kind of retro. Like to us, like they're kind of prequel style stuff. They're nice and shiny and clean on a very deserty, ugly planet.
Yeah.
So it's jarring, but if that's what the kids were into, I'm down with it. Lydia.
Yeah, we talked about this last week, how if you're a teenager on Tatooine, this just bleak, just brown, rundown planet, like you're not going to be wanting to drive around and just in these old rundown brown speeders. Like you want to be like on Coruscant, right? You want to be like, the people hanging out in the, the center of the galaxy, right? With all the shiny, new, cool stuff. So it totally fits for me, and I like it. And I'm sick of hearing people complain about it, to be honest with you. But no, Finnick gets, put back together, and they immediately go to get Boba's ship back. And I thought that whole sequence was awesome. Like, I love them teaming up, working together. I love one of my favorite characters is that freaking rat catcher droid. Like, I thought that was the funniest shit ever. I don't know if I'm alone in this, but I thought it was great.
Just remember the name of that ship. Fire Sprayer Gunship. It is not the slave one. Quit calling it the slave one.
See, I didn't want to bring that up because I'm sick of hearing people complain about stuff that really does not
I'll just
matter.
buy the Lego set. Fine. And
Yeah,
I'll
it's
just shut up.
not that deep. Like, it's really not. They never say the slave one in the original trilogy. This
That's
was all
also
stuff that was
true.
added in later. So, like, stop it. He got his ship back, and that's all that matters. I love Finnick, like, fighting people as he's trying to get out of there, but they got to open the door. And then she's like, no, I got you. Shoots the thing, and the door opens back up. I thought that whole sequence was really, really well done. And I love seeing them team up for the first time. You could tell that they got this camaraderie, and that's why Finnick ultimately decides to stick around a little bit longer.
Sorry, now I'm
Thoughts,
looking at Lego
thoughts
set.
guys? No, I agree. I think everything they just went through in regards to stealing the ship and everything is why Fennec is willing to stay with him. Although I'm not gonna lie, out of all the characters on the show right now, she's the one I trust the least. She's got something about her and how those lines are delivered and how she's looking sometimes.
Bro, every episode, she's like, "You sure, bro?
Yeah,
you sure?"
she
She's got
questions
some line every episode that second guesses his actions and thinks that her idea is definitely
I'm just
the idea.
waiting for her to shoot him in the back.
And Matt, to anti-double down on your point, last week she was super sus when she wasn't there to defend him. How did Chrysanthemum get in? Doesn't matter. And then all of a sudden she goes from being like, "Are you sure we should like lock him up and not kill him?" to like sticking her feet up on the table and eating breakfast like it's hers. It was very kind of jarring when you go back and watch her attitude from like the 5 minutes prior to when she puts her feet up on the table. And it's
see, they made it clear in that first episode when he's like, "Finnick, no killing." What's she do? She kills one of them still. She keeps one alive and she kills the other. Like,
I don't know if I agree. I think that she I think her intentions are pretty clear to me. I think, and
Yeah,
I
her
talked.
intentions are she wants that
No,
throne.
no, I've talked about this in another episode where I like the dynamic that they have where, Finnick challenges him and she had her own idea of what being a crime lord was. And Boba had a completely different idea. Like she's all about putting her feet up, right? Eating the meal, right? Kill first, ask questions later. Like that's what she's about. And Boba Fett's not like, no, we're doing this a different way. And she ultimately always falls in line. And I think that they're buddies. I don't see her turning heel anytime soon. But I could be wrong.
Yeah,
I
it's just
don't
kind of
trust
hard for it's just hard to see it, especially because this guy's name was Kevin, right? That directed the episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. His Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. episodes are some of the best. Someone who's watched Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. They're usually Ming-Na Wen, Agent May centric. So happy that he was here, at least to make her feel a bit more comfortable. And if there was going to be a Finnick turn episode, I think it would have been the one directed by the dude who directed her a bunch
But
on.
we don't know if he isn't directing one of these next
He's
three.
not. He's not. This is the only one he's directing. And
But do we have the director list for the rest of the?
Yes, we do. We
know Dave Filoni's doing
up,
6. I don't know about 5 and 7. I would assume that Robert Rodriguez would do 7, but I don't know.
I know who's shooting them bitches, but I do not know who is directing them. David Klein has been shooting the fuck out of this show.
It's a good looking show. I would say one of my favorite shots of the entire series is Boba's ship coming in and just shooting down.
It's like tiny
the bikers.
And massive.
That was so good.
On Premiere, you're like, oh, look at that thing.
It looked so good. And I love too how, again, people complaining on the internet that Boba Fett's, he's gotten soft and he's not this badass that we thought he was, and he doesn't get revenge anymore. Like, nah, like he flies in. I thought maybe they were gonna have a conversation, but nah, he sees him and he's just pew, 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 and just freaking blows him up. That was so sick.
I believe the next episode is Bryce Dallas Howard.
Oh,
then episode exciting. 6 is going to be Dave Filoni. And then it would behoove me to believe that either Robert Rodriguez or Jon Favreau are directing the finale.
That's fair to assume. But wait, hold on. I thought, is Dave actually directing episode 6? I thought he just co-wrote.
Yes, he is directing episode 6. That is why we have to start cranking up some fucking height meters, because we're like 2 weeks away from some ratchet shit.
Yeah,
well,
so Rodriguez
next week is going to be pretty ratchet.
Rodriguez
I don't know. Bryce Dallas Howard is kind of like, let's sit and talk around let's talk about, she did the episode with the with the village.
Yeah, but she also did the Bo-Katan.
She did the Bo-Katan episode.
Oh shit! Yeah,
and we already talked about it. Mando's showing up next week, that's pretty exciting.
We don't know if Mando. Hold on. We just said the music was playing, bro. We haven't even had this discussion.
That's pretty clear to me, and I missed it the first time.
If your colonized boy Maddie Gunner, much love Maddie is theorizing that we're getting Hondo next week, which I don't think makes sense.
Woo!
I mean, we don't know who's going to show up, except we know it's pretty clear that Mando. We don't know who else.
Yeah.
Bosk could show up.
Take the
Any
M
of the other
put
classic bounty hunters.
Take the M out, put an H in, Hondo. I'm in.
I don't see, if I remember correctly, Boba and him have bad blood from the Clone Wars. I think there's an episode where
who does Hondo not have bad blood?
But see,
Boba was Cad Bane's number 2.
Yeah, and that's what I was trying to talk to Maddie about earlier, because I'm like, while I like how excited you are, let's take a step back and not like Boba still seems like a guy who will hold a grudge.
This Boba doesn't seem like dude that's gonna hold a grudge on like
really, because what did he?
No. Boba was holding grudges on some new shit, not on the old shit. This was on I don't think he's gonna be pestering people about some bullshit from 30 years ago. He was going to pester that Sarlacc about keeping him digested for a long time, and he was going to shoot the speeder bike guys after killing his friends. But I think everything pre-Sarlacc, because there's no explanation of why he's like, I want to double down on the dude who's like wronged me. I was like, you mean Han Solo, the guy that shot you and put you in the pit? Like, it's just like a couple more people he doesn't seem angry about for me to think that.
See, but with Han, it was an accident, and he knows that.
Yeah, imagine they see each other later, and he's like, "Dude, I was fucking blind. I couldn't even see anything.
Like, I was tripping
like they're just
balls,
like
dude.
sitting around drinking some shit." Like,
I maybe this is a little bit off topic, but I want to get you guys' thoughts. I think it's pretty clear we're not leaving Tatooine in this series, and I don't know how I feel about that.
I don't know, bro. Next week might be the week to do it because now he's got the ship. In theory, we've gotten the ship in the show.
I mean,
So
he's
now
always had
he's
the
gonna
ship.
use it. Yeah, well, no. Wait, Colin's point is now that we've officially seen it in some capacity in the show, that's normally a setup for them
use it.
use it.
Like, so now there's going to be a reason in her saying, "Oh, well, we can get muscle." And no offense, ain't a whole lot of muscle on Tatooine. That
as we've seen.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Do you think that maybe Boba and Finnick, do they go find Mando, or does Mando
they go to
Mando?
Imagine they just fly into Mandalore, and this is the Mandalore setup for the other shows. We just fly in, and it's Boba, or it's Din, like he's just hammering away, like trying to rebuild Mandalore. And it's like, oh hey, it's my friends. My friends are here, and he's just like helping.
That's what's exciting to me, though. Not just Mando showing up, but like what mental state is Mando in right now? Like, he just gave away his child. He's now the rightful ruler of Mandalore. He has the dark saber. Like, what is going through his mind? What is he up to where he's going to drop that and be like, yeah, I'll go help Boba Fett real quick. Like, it's like a pit stop. Another side quest for him.
So I think he is a man of honor and loyalty. They're talking about loyalty. Din Djarin's one of the most loyal dudes in the galaxy. And I think he would repay a debt.
Yeah, but you know what I mean, though? Like, what is Mando up to right now to where Boba Fett comes knocking and he's like, yeah,
he's chilling, making a house. Like, he's
making a house.
Prep. I don't know if they're at Mandalore yet. I think they probably just. I think they're probably traded in that Imperial Star Cruiser and are working on a plan to return to Mandalore.
See, I don't think so. I don't think Mando wants anything to do with Mandalore. Like, I don't think Din Djarin wants anything to do with the dark saber.
Yeah, but that's not for us to decide right now.
That's not here exactly. That's while I do agree with you, he doesn't want anything to do with it. But now it says responsibility. But we have to remember when they announced it was coming out next fall or in December. Originally, the thought was they were going to be able to film Mandalorian, but all these COVID protocols and COVID had another idea. Remember, original reports were, yeah, we're getting Boba Fett, and then it's going to lead right into Mandalorian season 3. So I kind of understand where this, like, when I heard that music, I'm like, okay, they talked originally. This was supposed to lead into Mandalorian season 3, but now it's not being a direct lead in, but it still makes sense as to why Din's showing up, and it at the same time, it's gonna be kind of like a backdoor pilot for this new season of Mandalorian, because this is the first season we're gonna get without the child. So now you kind of have to reset up the show in a way to where now people at least have an idea of where it's going forward.
No, yeah, I hear what you're saying, and I didn't mean to skip to the very end, like I always do.
Do it. No. We covered it. He saves her. He gets the ship.
I wanted to talk about the scene with Black Chrysanthemum just like getting his revenge on the Trandoshans for no reason.
For no reason.
That was so good. Well, we know that Wookiees and Trandoshans, like, they hate each other. Like, that's been set up. And he'd been drinking. He was a little violent. And I just love how Boba Fett walks in. He's just like, this is awkward. I don't know if I should step in. But then here comes Garsa Whip, like, trying to intervene. And just when you think that maybe she was able to convince him, he's like, nah, fuck your money. Rips his arm off. That was great. And then Boba's like, it was worth a try. Like, I respect that. And then he's like, you know what? You're working for me. I need your muscle. You need a job. Let's do this thing.
Oh, see, I totally saw that as a setup.
No. I think that he did. I think that whole thing was just random, and Garsa Whip was actually trying to settle him down, and Boba Fett just walked in at the right moment.
I see it as a setup.
So when he says it was worth the try, he was talking about her trying to calm him
here's
down.
why I will say it wasn't a setup, because if I remember correctly, he's already picked up the Transdotion by the time Boba's walked in.
Right, but it was a plan from him and Garza. Like,
I don't think so. I don't think it's that.
Let him get drunk, let him drink himself into a flurry, and then we'll figure it out afterwards.
I don't know. I don't think it's that important. I think that
definitely not that important, because he's on his side and he's standing there looking like a bad motherfucker over that table. Like,
Yeah,
it's you want to fuck with me? Yo, screw the Rancor. I got black chrysanthemum standing over my shoulder, and you guys like, well, I don't have to give you money. How about you just like huff and puff real quick? Like, that dude is like, oh, the swag of him sitting at that table, and when he drinks, like, when he drinks and it like goes over his beard, it's like a combination of Harry Potter dropping the drink out of his mouth in Goblet of Fire, and like when you see it, the shot quality from him reminded me of the Uruk-hai from Lord of the Rings. Mm-hmm. He's so imposing, and like he's so much bigger than the Trandoshan. And when the Trandoshan whacks him over the back of the head, and he is just motherfucker. You see the fake lip on the Trandoshan quivering. How are you gonna make a prosthetic lip quiver? Like that's good. That's good stuff right there. Like that's impressive.
Yeah, I loved everything about them sitting down at the table scene. Like it really did feel like something out of an old gangster movie where Boba Fett has to kind of plead his case about like, this is why we're here. We're here to make, I'm here to make a proposal that's mutually beneficial. And of course, all the other crime lords were like, we could just kill you and take over your territory. Like, what's in it for us, kind of a thing. And then Boba Fett's like, well, actually, I don't need you guys. Like, I don't need you guys. I can do this myself. I just don't want you taking their side. Like, I want you guys to stay neutral. And I love how he used the Rancor as leverage. Like, that was so good. Because I didn't realize where the table was placed until the Rancor came up from underneath. I was like, oh, that's perfect.
Well, yeah, they set it up in the shot, and I only get that on second viewing, where the first shot of that scene is the throne. So you do know they're in the room, but definitely it's just because we've never seen a table in the middle of that before that it's like, oh, where are they? And it is kind of like, oh shit. Like, could you imagine? Could you imagine you're just like sitting there having a regular business conversation, and then all of a sudden the dude who called you in is like, "Oh shit, I'm backing up."
Yeah. And do you guys know what the species of the dog-looking guy that we were just talking about? Because we had the Aqualish, we had the Trandoshans.
You talking about the dude at the end of the table?
Yeah, the guy that was being the prick the whole time. I was curious if you guys knew, because I did not.
It's whatever the third name they mentioned last week.
Right.
Oh, that's right. I didn't think
they
about
mentioned
that.
3 names last week. Man, Dan Casey's got it.
Anyway, because I think he's gonna be a problem. Like, he's gonna turn. Like, the Pikes are gonna show up. The Trandoshans might put their hands up and be like, no, we're good. The Aqualish will put their hands up and be like, no, we're not interested in your conflict. And then this guy, he's gonna be like, oh yeah, I'll join you, no problem. Like, we're definitely gonna see him again.
No, I think you're absolutely right. He, out of all of them, he seemed like the most likely to be like, no, I'm still gonna partner up with them.
And I just love, they keep teasing this war, right? Like, we saw it last week where Boba's like, well, we're preparing for war, we'll be ready. And then this week they're getting the muscles to prepare for war. Like, what is this war gonna look like between the Pikes and Boba Fett and company? Like, they're setting it up. They've mentioned it multiple times. Like, this is gonna be epic, man.
I did it. I found it. They are Platunians. They're a species native to the planet Klaatuine, which I assume means they are probably the most native, like, their solar system natives of Tatooine.
Okay.
Star system. Imposing brows and toothy underbites. Yeah, he had a weird mouth. Dude did have a weird mouth.
He looked like a dog.
That was a freaking dog.
Yeah, so the 3 species mentioned last week in 88 was the Trandoshans took the city center, the Aqualish took the workers district, and the Clatunians took over the starport and the upper sprawl. So okay, so here's why he's working with them, because the last place we saw Pikes was the starport, and they assumingly would have had to have cleared Pike people coming through. So
It's not wrong.
maybe
That's a good point.
Maybe.
Actually.
That is a good point.
2 and 2 together.
We've already talked about next week in terms of how Mando shows up and like what context.
Do we want him to? Because I don't.
Yeah.
I personally don't.
You don't want Mando?
No, it's forceful as fuck. It's super
I don't think so.
forceful.
I don't think
it's
so.
super forceful.
Because the reason I say that is because we know that all of these shows are going to connect, and there's supposed to be this big culmination event at some point. So they're trying to start, planting the seeds of why all of these things are going to connect.
Feel forced. So
I think once he shows up, you're going to get very excited. Like when you see Din Djarin on the screen again,
like what I want. Like I was the guy that said I didn't want Luke Skywalker to show up, and like
we were all that guy. And then when we see that green lightsaber,
I know a lot of people that were not the opposite of that guy. Really,
But I also want to point out that we're done with trailer footage. All the trailer footage we have now seen, so we are going in completely blind these last 3 episodes.
Yep, we've seen everything.
And we've talked about already how flashbacks seem to be over, although I am really hoping that we see at least one more of young Boba, and I want to see Jango. Like, I want to see a de-aged Tamora Morrison as Jango Fett. Like, that would be very...
Toby just not all over the place.
We've already seen Camino.
Do you want Jango Fett or do you want Captain Rex?
I want Captain. Come on. Okay. I don't want to make a
Tamora Morrison's over here like
he's literally
play all the
next
characters. I'll play all the characters. Just cut that check.
Yeah, and we already know that he knows.
I call this the John Locke theory from Lost. Pay me my money for all the roles I play on your TV show. Pay me all of them because they're different fucking jobs.
Mm-hmm.
Pay me all the money. How much does D make? D. Bradley Baker should make like $1 million an episode. Like we should be talking Charlie Sheen money at this point.
When it comes time for him to negotiate his contracts, it shouldn't be D. Bradley Baker as the clones. It should be every single clone that he plays should be taken.
He's like, you realize y'all gave me a whole show to my fucking self after giving me a whole 7-series show, and then literally gave me a show where it's me and 3 other people, maybe an episode, 3 other voice actors in an episode of The Bad Batch.
Yeah.
Speaking of Bad Batch, I want to bring this up real quick in terms of news.
I think you and I are about to bring up the same thing.
Yeah. So in a leaked page of Star Wars Insider, it looks like Bad Batch Season 2 will be premiering this spring, which is very soon. But I'm going to throw a but in there. Every episode of Saber Reels are trying to piece together the Star Wars puzzle of when shows are going to air and when shows are going to begin, end, and then transition into the next show. And we're in 2022 now, which is freaking crazy. And so we're going to start seeing how these things are going to go. And I still don't know how it's going to go because they haven't really announced anything like officially. So I thought Kenobi was going to be after Book of Boba Fett and Bad Batch wouldn't be until like summertime. Maybe before Andor, maybe after Andor.
I think you're.
But I have no idea what they're doing at this point. I have no guess.
What's gonna happen is you're gonna, if we're following the like, Star Wars had to catch up. Marvel owned 2021. Marvel owned Disney Plus in 2021
absolutely.
Without question. Bad Batch was fantastic, all that, and the Mando finale was last year, right?
Yeah.
Technically, yeah.
Technically, yeah. So
no, Mando's finale was like that was December of last year because we started of 2020 because we started in October of 2020.
Oh, you're right. I was thinking that it started in November.
Right. So then WandaVision starts. So you're gonna have right after this show's over, you'll have a month, and then Moon Knight will start.
Mm-hmm.
And then Moon Knight will run for 6 episodes. I think it's 6 episodes.
Yeah.
6, yeah.
So then that brings you up to end of April-ish. That would be the time Bad Batch would roll around. Do we still know if Star Wars Celebration is occurring? Everyone in this
You
chat.
want to know what's a part of May, though? May the 4th.
Yeah, I was going to bring up that if Moon Knight does a 2-episode in one day thing, then Moon Knight would end
Moon Knight is going to be hour long. The 6 episode shows are the hour longish ones. The
8 to 9.
8 to 9 are the half hour.
42 and 48.
Okay, again, I'm still trying to piece together what they have planned, because a lot of people think that Kenobi will begin on May 4th, and I think that makes a lot of sense. But again, you always have to take into account the Marvel stuff. Marvel and Lucasfilm are constantly communicating about what shows should overlap, what shows shouldn't, when this begins, when this ends. But no, since we know Bad Batch is going to air in the spring, that had me thinking, is Bad Batch going to run congruent with Kenobi? I don't think so. I don't think Lucasfilm likes to do that at all. Like, I don't think we're going to get a Kenobi trailer until Boba Fett is over, because that's just the way Lucasfilm does things. But
I think I figured it out. Okay. Moon Knight, Bad Batch. Insert either Miss Marvel or She-Hulk. I'm not here to argue which one will.
They said Miss Marvel is.
I'm not here to argue. I just said I'm not here to argue which one.
I was telling you,
doesn't matter.
with the She-Hulk
Star Wars show. And then you will have Andor, and then you will have the other Marvel show, and then you will have Obi-Wan. I feel like Obi-Wan is not a summer show. If Star Wars gets back to like this meaningful shit is happening around the holidays and this turn of the year type shit, I would rather see Obi-Wan be that end of the year.
See, I think that's Mando season 3, though.
That's Mando season 3, and also they confirmed.
That's what I mean. There's so much stuff.
Andor is confirmed to come out either towards the end of the third quarter, or the beginning of the fourth quarter for 2022. Mando is confirmed for the fourth quarter. Then, and they have confirmed Obi-Wan is this year, and I think May 25th, if I remember correctly, is What's up, Brennan? How you doing, sir?
So let's see. Next week is the 26th. That's episode 5.
May 25th is a Wednesday, and if they push Celebration back, which is what's being rumored to happen, what better way to celebrate the second Star Wars Day than dropping Kenobi?
Hold on, let me see if I can try to piece this together. So next week, the 26th, is episode 5, Book of Boba Fett, and then February 2nd is episode 6, and then February 9th is episode.
Did we just kill the Andor
7.
show?
I don't want to kill the Andor show, at all.
I don't give a shit.
I do.
I just
this
last
show is
2
gonna be
weeks
so
with Diego
different.
Luna, and I love him, but he's so much better in a Boba Fett. I just watched him in Narcos Mexico, where he plays Juan Miguel Felix, Angel Felix, and he is terrifying. So I need some terrifying Andor shit. So if we're going to assume that this whole show is him doing dirty shit, because he's not really doesn't consider himself a good guy until he meets Jin, I'm cool with it. I just don't want to see a dude who's like, oh, I'm good. No, I want to see badass Andor.
And I think we will, because the reason I'm excited for the Andor show is because this is a completely different team working on the show. This is not Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni and Bryce Dallas Howard, and this is a completely different crew. This show was not shot in the volume. At least most of it was not shot in the volume.
A lot of it was shot in Europe, right?
They built sets. They went on location, and this show is supposedly going to be a little bit longer. We're talking 12, 13 episodes. This show is going to be a lot different than what we've been seeing in the Mando verse, right? And so that's why I'm excited, because it's going to be different. We're going to get away from, Din Djarin and Boba Fett in this new world, and we're going back to the rebellion and the Empire, which I know people may be tired of, but this is going to be a completely different side of the rebellion that we've seen, and that excites me.
Look, Toby, you're going to get me hooked on this High Republic shit, and then I'm going to be like, no, I'm done. I'm done with all the old stuff. I'm done with this.
Speaking of High Republic, do you guys like my hat? Like, this
I
hat
love
was
your hat.
free with the new High Republic book, and I like it a lot. But no, like, real quick, we know that Book of Boba Fett will end like February 9th, right? And then maybe a couple weeks break. If Bad Batch starts, let's say March 2nd, and runs for
Whoa! No way!
What happened? What happened?
No way! No way! That
No way! What?
No
Why?
fucking way!
I'm just looking at the calendar. I'm trying to like.
Starts though.
He's trying to piece it together. I give him his props.
Moon Knight and Bad Batch can run at the same time.
No way.
Moon Knight,
listen,
Moon Knight
they're
also
gonna
doesn't
have
start
to
until the end of March.
We know that Marvel, there are so much Marvel and Star Wars coming. There are going to be things running at the same time. There is no way
And one is for adults, one is for kids.
Exactly. Like, that's just the world we live in now.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to wake up 2 hours early for work every Wednesday to watch the Marvel stuff and the Star Wars stuff. And maybe in a year or two, I'll have to wake up 3 hours early to watch everything that's coming, because I don't want spoilers while I'm at work.
Toby's like, I might have to change my off days. Fuck it.
Yeah, I'm just changing my schedule completely just so I can watch my stuff. But anyway, so yeah, Bad Batch. Let's just assume Bad Batch starts March 2nd. That sounds like a good date to me. It gives you 2-week break in between Book of Boba Fett.
Is that
and Bad Batch?
Spring?
Do what?
Is that technically spring?
Technically spring.
Technically spring is March. Yeah.
And now if Bad Batch season 2 is another 12 episodes like season 1, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, that puts us at May 18th for the end of season 2 of the Bad Batch. So that means, again, this is all, we're just spitballing here, that May 4th may not be the premiere date for Kenobi. But May 25th is the anniversary of A New Hope being
Star Wars.
Correct. So, Obi-Wan Kenobi show could air May 25th. I think that might be a safe bet. And
I would put more money down on that premiering May 25th than Bad Batch premiering on March 3rd. I think you're tripping balls if you think that a show that we have not seen a trailer for is coming out in a month and a half.
Well, we know the Star Wars Insider magazine confirmed spring.
You pick like the first day. Like they like spring gives them literally until 2 days before my birthday. Spring goes until June 20th.
I don't know, man.
I'm just saying.
You
chose
this is
the very beginning of the possibility of the timeline. You've got to give it some leeway.
Think about it though. Like, how many shows are confirmed for this year? Book of Boba Fett, which we're already seeing, Andor, and Obi-Wan, Bad Batch. Maybe Visions. I don't think Visions. That might be 2023.
No way.
But we're talking 4 shows.
They're waiting for me to finish it.
4, right? Yeah, they gotta wait for you. 4 shows averaging between 8 and 12 episodes for each season. That's a lot. I'm not good at math. That's a lot of weeks.
36 to 48 weeks. Yeah, it's a lot.
And how many weeks are in a year? 52.
Yep.
Like, not a lot of weeks in between that for them to promote stuff. So I know I said earlier that we won't see a Kenobi trailer until Book of Boba Fett ends.
Until I see them do it, I'm going to have a hard time, because they've done a good job at releasing these shows in a way that they don't run on top of each other. So until they introduce me to the world where they're like, fucking deal with it, you're going to have to watch all of it, and it's all coming out on the same day, and you just got to deal with it. I'll live in it. I just don't believe it until I see it, because they've done a good job up until now of kind of pacing this thing.
Okay, I'm going to throw a curveball.
You already did with March 3rd.
This is
throw another one.
This is a knuckleball. Okay, what if they drop all 6 episodes of Kenobi?
They would never do that.
Never in a million fucking years.
Do that.
Okay, here's what we do. March 25th, like 2-to-1 odds. March 3rd of Bad Batch, 15-1 odds. And then whatever the fuck you just came up with is like
A million
200-1 odds. No way.
Just imagine I want you guys to just imagine a world where they surprise drop all 6
Yeah,
episodes.
and I wake up and
on a
some
random
dumb motherfucker's
Wednesday.
already watched 6 episodes.
Yeah,
I don't want to live in that world.
I still want to live in the
barely
world
live
where
in
they
this
drop
one.
it at midnight Eastern time.
Yeah,
Hell
that would be great.
yeah,
that would be
let's
so
get on that shit.
wonderful. Can we stop with the 3 a.m.
Let's
Eastern
release it at
stuff? Like
7
that's so
o'clock.
stupid.
How about 7 o'clock at night?
Yeah, like the good old days, like a new
You know,
episode,
like
at
television.
7 or 8 p.m.
Not
in the
3
afternoon.
o'clock in the fucking morning, you savages.
Anyway,
Colin,
I gotta wake
for
up
a while
tomorrow.
there, Colin was staying up till 3 o'clock, and now he's working consistently. He's like, "No, I ain't doing that shit."
Hell no, I'm not staying until 3 a.m. I got shit I gotta do in the morning. I ain't got time for this shit. No way. You guys are crazy. I might no, I can't. Peacemaker is a great show to watch at 9 o'clock in the morning. It's so good. Just crank Peacemaker up in the morning, and it is fabulous.
Anyway, any final thoughts on this episode? I love this episode. If I'm ranking it,
This is the best episode.
I'm giving it. I still think episode 2 is my favorite.
Episode 2.
I'm giving
413.
I'm giving chapter 4, The Gathering Storm. I'm giving it 9 little tracker balls.
Fuck you!
10.
Colin, you got to go first.
Me and Colin just have the same
time, bro.
On the same wavelength every week.
Because I couldn't come up with a damn thing. Fine.
I'm giving it
all right, you know what?
4.5 out of 5 tracker balls.
Tracker balls.
I give this 9 different Thundercat arm appendages out of 10.
Oh, that's good. I like that one.
Because he was like flipping between his different fingers and shit. And I was like, I've always wondered. So he puts like the like Doc Ock neck chip on him, right? So, so that's how they communicate. I thought that was a nice little like connective tissue of like, oh, I've seen stuff like this before. I can get behind this. So that's how he makes like, oh, I'm just going to attach this arm with completely different things than the other one, and I can control which one comes up. I like that. 9 out of 10.
There you go. Well, thank you guys so much for
Matt,
watching.
what was your rating?
Oh yeah, Matt, what did you say?
I said 4.5 out of 5 tracker balls.
Oh, see, I do 10. You do 5.
Balls. It's got to be, or else I would have said tracker balls and not made a fool of myself.
Hey, Toby did the same thing I did last week, so I'm copping out. Tracker balls.
Tracker balls. All right, so thank you guys so much for watching. This was a lot of fun. Shout out to Brennan in the chat. We appreciate you. Make sure you check out all the other content on our channel. There's so much stuff there. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, tell your friends, do all that fun stuff. And Matt, one last thing? What's up?
So Sunday, we got a real talk pre-recorded, of course, as stated before. But I got this beautiful man, Colin Morris, coming on, and we're going to talk about.
Look at that photo.
Yeah.
God, what a great headshot.
Look at that professional photo.
We're going to be talking about Lord of the Rings, the rise of what is it? The Rise of the Ring?
No,
it's a stupid name.
The Rings of Power.
Rings of Power.
That's a
Rings
dumb
of
name.
Power. It's
not a dumb name.
It's a dumb name.
One of the fucking movies.
No, see, I am obsessed with Lord of the Rings. Like it's probably Star Wars, Marvel, and then Lord of the Rings. That's a dumb name for.
Well, no,
not a dumb name. What do you want to call it? The Second Age?
That'd be better than the
The video game was called the Third Age. You can't make a TV show called the Second Age.
Yeah,
I don't know. I originally thought because they put out that teaser poster and it just said the Lord of the Rings. I'm like, they're not gonna call this show the Lord of the Rings, are they? Because the show isn't the Lord of the Rings. It's not Frodo and Sam. Like it's not any of that. This is like thousands of years in the past.
Yeah, it's the Rings of Power. It's literally what the story's going to be about.
I don't know.
All right.
I still don't know how I feel about this show, and I don't want this to turn into real talk
right now.
But I don't know how I feel about this show.
I'm ready to go. Toby's got me hyped up.
Well, that's real quick. That's not the only thing that we got going on Sunday, and I'm gonna save Toby real quick right here. Sunday at 10:15 p.m. You can join myself and Paige for Euphoria After Dark episode 3.
What's that? Euphoria. Never heard of it.
It is an amazing HBO show.
I'm just kidding. Everyone except me watches that show apparently.
Well, and Chris.
I've heard it's
You
weird.
tell me Chris Anthony Lopez does not watch Euphoria? That's
Pretty
shocking.
sure.
That's shocking on just levels that I can't get into on the internet.
I think in 2022, if someone says I don't watch this show, not surprising because there's a bajillion shows now. Like,
Yeah,
you're not
but
watching every
I would
show. Like,
give it
be
Chris
damned. Like,
support.
no, there's too much stuff.
Here's the thing. I get why he's saying that because this show is like right up yours and Chris's alley. So
I don't know. This outro has gone on way too long.
Yeah,
thank you guys for watching.
Send us out. Punch
check
it.
us next
did you look at
Wednesday.
it to say punch it? When she was like, when she throat punches the Gamorrean guard that bum rushes her like Aaron Donald, and she just takes him down. I wanted her to say punch it to Boba when he flew away, but
Okay. Thank you guys for watching. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, follow us on Twitter and Instagram and all the fun stuff. We will see you next Wednesday breaking down chapter 5. May the force be with you always.